Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAP TV. This is where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines every day. Yes, we come to the streets on newspaper stands to get reactions of people and hear what they have to say about the stories on the papers daily. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and happy weekend to you out there. Yes, you can also be a part of the show. Do well to subscribe, turn on the notification button, connect with us across all our social media platforms so that when we drop videos like this, you get to receive our notifications. Well, before we get to talk to people on the streets, let's look into the papers and let's see what the stories look like. First, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper. Today being Friday, February 16th, 2024. We could see as headline reads, Naira trades 1,498 Naira per dollar at official market. CBN tackles racketeers. Details of this story is found on page 17. Abductions. Federal government. Governors brainstorm on state police. Forest guard. Details is found on page 15. Wigwe US deepens probe as Senator Kolade visits family. Details is found on page 17. We could see at the main story here reads, OPS rejects food imports. Banks clamp down on hoarders. Sub-stories under that read, food import will kill local products, says private sector as Tinubu governors rule out importation. Federal government irrigates 22,308 hectares. Customs vow to stop food smuggling. IG, DSS go after hoarders. Details of the story is found on page 2. Edo rep drops governor ambition after son's murder in US. Details is found on page 12. Kidnappers holding my husband after 5.4 million naira ransom, says wife. Details of the story is found on page 4 and 5. Obi demands Labour Party account audit. Abure denies fraud allegation. Details is found on page 7. And that is all we will be taking on the Punch newspaper. Now let's go into the next story for today. Let's look at the Nation's newspaper. We can see as headline reads, no quick fix for spiraling inflation, says experts. Details of this story is found on page 4. Banks induce customers to convert dollar in account to naira. Details is found on page 2. NATO threatens to stop lifting petrols from depot. Details is found on page 3. Nance tackles ASU on student loan scheme. Details is found on page 4. We could see a headline here reads, Anambra government agents at war with vendors. Details is found on page 6. We didn't ban worship centers on campus. Details is found on page 27. You can see as headline the main story here reads, Tinubu governors agree on state police. War on food crisis. Sub-story under that reads, states get nod to arm forest guards in battles against bandits, kidnappers. Details of this story is found on page 2 of the Nation's newspaper. Banks to withhold IOC's exports proceed for 90 days. Sub-story under that reads, CBN restricts remittance by oil firm. Details is found on page 2. Edo, expect credible APC candidates from tomorrow's shadow poll, says Uzodinma. Details is found also on page 2, and that's all we'll be taking on the Nation's newspaper. And lastly for today, we'll be looking at the Daily Sun newspaper. We could see as headline says, Tinubu will kill Nigerians with hunger, hardship, says Atiku. Sub-stories on that read, accuses government of pauperizing citizens till they have no dignity left. Details is found on page 28. We could see as headline on the main story and reads, food crisis, government orders clamp down on hoarders. Sub-story on that reads, charges IGP, DSS, NSA to fish out corporates, more state police. Details is found on page 6. Police recruitment, jam to conduct CBT tests for 171,956 shortlisted applicants, March 5. Details is found on page 4. ASU insists federal government student loan remains rejected. Sub-story under that read, demand stripping Patami of professorship. Details is found on page 27. Press freedom, good governance promoters to receive NUJ award. Details is found on page 26. War against media. Soludo aids destroy newsstands, newspapers. Details is found on page 6. You failed to implement our demand, ASU tells Tinubu. Details is found on page 27. Rescue economy from collapse. Reps charge federal government. Details is found on page 21. And that's all we'll be taking on the Daily Sun newspaper. And that's all we'll be taking on the dailies for today. Now let's get to see the reactions of people on the street. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regards the headlines on the papers. All right, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I'd like your thoughts on the Nation's newspaper that says Tinubu governors agree on state police, war on food crisis.
Well, first and foremost, may I introduce myself. My name is Mark Anthony. Actually, this is what is really bedeviling the country as for now. The food crisis, everybody's complaining. The small bread we used to buy 250, now it's 300. A sachet water before we used to buy 10 naira, now is 2 for 15 naira. Every prices of things is just skyrocketing, and it seems that government does not know what to do. And even the state police too, I'm against the state police, because just like the state government, they manipulate the RISEC, they can also manipulate the police during the election. They can use the police to rig the election to their own favor, and consequently, they find it difficult to pay their workers, to pay the civil servant. How would they not fund the police? And police force is not the force that you must owe. So I want the federal government to regulate, to still control the police force, because these politicians, they will use it to go against their opponents, which of course will be done to the detriment to the state. Another set of people I want to blame is these people who call themselves estate developers.
Exactly.
Why are you buying land and developing estate? Why don't you convert it to producing, planting and producing crops, producing food? You are building houses. Man must eat first to have strength, be alive before you rent house. Go to the north, you will not see something like all this estate development, estate this, estate that. Every day on television, every day on radio, we are selling a house selling land for 20 million. When you begin to build house, then how are we going to talk about agriculture? The problem is not necessary for government. We are also part of it.
And even these houses are not even affordable.
It's not even affordable. Now you go to LMA, you go to Ahuda, you see one single man buy acres of land. Why don't you buy tractors and cultivate crops here? But you are building houses. Nobody's talking about agriculture. But it is only in the north you talk about agriculture.
And they focus on it.
Now you're focusing on building. And you say, where would the food come from? During the time of Michael Opara, there was this agricultural disease. There was food everywhere. Because before the food will be transported from the north to this place, of course,
it take time and take money.
The drivers add their own transport money. The farmers, they add their own. And before you get to the consumer, of course, the price will be so high. Now let the government regulate all these estate managers. And another thing again that's causing food crisis is security.
Exactly.
Security should be dealt with, because all these farmers and they are complaining. How can you plant on the people? Somebody will come and tell you that you pay me so and so before or they destroy the farmland. Even these cattle realists, they are not even helping matters. How will you take cattle to people's land and destroy it and like that? Government is not even giving incentive and make money to farmers. There are people who have the urge to plant. So the government say, go and plant. Where will you get the money to plant the one that will be enough for the masses? So both government, the masses, everybody's involved in the food crisis, let me say so.
But you know that this is one of the reasons why they are trying to start this state police thing, to improve security. But do you think if the state police thing holds, do you think it would improve security, or it will still continue this way?
Our advice, like I said earlier, when you have not found, sometimes those in the local government that are crying, they have not been paid.
They've not let us know if it's still the federal police that would continue there, or they will employ new sets of persons.
What the best thing to do, let the federal control security. Then let them work in relation with the local security. Local securities will be the one going in the night, give them, get information and give to these people. Why these people? Because the police will not come in. You understand my point? So the work of even all these vigilantes, their work is in the evening, and they know everybody in that place. Because a police officer can be transferred from the north to Port Harcourt. You don't know anybody. But here's rumor hollow. If you are made a vigilante now, you know me as a bad boy or a good boy. So it is you that will give police information about information. So the vigilantes should be working with the police. Let the federal government control the police, because once the state government control police, the way they control BSEC, for example, River State, INEC, just the federal government control INEC. You can imagine, how can a state like River State conduct local government election? No political party, opposition party will win election. It will be swept out by by the ruling party. So the same thing they will do. If there is any strong opposition candidate that the governor knows that to be so strong, he will use the police. Yes, he will use the police to checkmate that man, which is not good. So let the federal still controls police station, and let them also empower the traditional rulers. So the traditional rulers, very important, let them empower the traditional, because the traditional ruler knows.
Coordinate those their communities that they are ruling.
Yes, because they give them money. In fact, let them allocate security allowance to the traditional rulers. Let traditional also recruit, because they know no traditional ruler would like to be disposed. So let traditional ruler, let traditional recruit. Traditional ruler recruit those that will serve as vigilante. Then be paying them.
People that live in that environment.
Then be paying them from the money coming allocated. Let the state government controls the
local community.
The local community, yes. Then the federal government controls that. So the traditional rulers knows you more than I do. If a new face come in, they know. So let them empower the traditional ruler to take care of, because the problem is from the local government. When the communities are safe, the state will be safe and the federal will be safe. Because all this boils down to the local government, to the community. Most of them don't go to school. And another thing again, they should make education free. Free and affordable. Primary to GS3 should be free, so everybody can go to school. Because one time you go to school, somebody that went to school and a child would not go to school. Like if you go to villages now, a child who's supposed to go to school is just sitting down in a convent or sitting down somewhere, gisting. All what they are planning is how to make money by overnight. Yes. So in the university level too, they should also bring the fees down. I don't see the reason why school fees should be expensive in this country. God has blessed us with enormous resources, and I don't see the reason why education will not be affordable in this country. Come to think, rich pastors are not even helping matters. Pastors, we have pastors who are richer than even the president. They are also helping matters. They buy land here, they buy houses here, they buy there, they want to live, they buy private cars. But why in their own, they can give scholarship in their church? They can contribute, they can buy land and develop agriculture. Men of God are also involved. I mean the rich men of God. They are also part of this problem we are having. Because even the tithe we pay, tithe say when you bring it, you should help those who are in the church. But a pastor in a big church will take the tithe to another go and pay pastor in another big church. Why your members in the church will be suffering? And you say, give to God, give to God. Yeah, man, the man you are seeing is the God you are seeing.
All right, thank you very much. All right, good morning.
Good morning, man.
I'd like your thoughts on the Punch newspaper that says OPS rejects food imports, backs clamp down on hoarders.
Why bank is coming down on others now?
They are saying some persons are hiding food. Instead of selling it, they are hiding it and increasing the prices. And they are the reasons why the country
for my own understanding, I don't think anyone can have food and hide it. But food is meant to be eaten, and generally there is hunger everywhere. So I don't think there will be food and someone else will be hiding it. So,
but some persons are increasing the price.
Yes, because from the experience we are having recently, some of these traders, especially food vendors, they said they travel all the way from the village because of the cost of fuel, because of the high price. Yes,
and even the tips that they pay security.
Yes, there's no security. So that's why when they succeed, when they finally succeed in bringing the food in township, so they will add money to cover up their expenses. Even I asked one of the banana vendors, he said that they travel all the way to Calabar to get this what they call it, this banana native. So, and it's very highly expensive here to purchase. Common man cannot buy any food to eat. It's very, very
little as bread.
Even bread, sir. Me personally, I don't even remember when last I eat bread. So it's very, very disturbing. So we need government to intervene on our behalf.
And now they are trying to ban importation of foods, that we should focus on our local foods. What do you have to say about that?
For me, there are no need banning importation of food because we don't even have enough for our own local production.
And there's not much resources to even plant.
No much resources to even plant. Even the one already planted, these headers are spoiling it, invading people's farm. So many villages, so many towns, spoiling their farms. So at the end of the day, they will not have harvest. So that's what we are suffering here.
One last question. Is there any chance that when they, let's say they go around making food available, do you think it will be possible to regulate the price of food, looking how the economy and how the price of petrol is? Is it possible to regulate the price of food around?
If the only way they can regulate, for me, from my own understanding, the only way they can regulate the price of food generally is to bring the price of fuel down. Because
So everything boils down to petrol again.
exactly down from the
And even cooking gas is even cost.
yes, even because the poor masses are the people suffering more for this fuel crisis. We don't do the more the fuel rise, the more the food stuff rise, because everything rises on importation and fuel.
Since we don't have steady light.
Yes, and again there's no steady light, there's no water, no good roads in some villages, in some township, no good roads, no water, no light. So we are suffering. So many people depend on petrol to survive. The barbers, the vendors, even we are without light. Personally, it's affecting me. Common pure water self, you cannot drink a good cold water without light. So it's affecting everybody. So the price of petrol has to come down, and every other thing will automatically come down by itself, not even by the people or forcing the people to regulate their prices.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
I would like your thoughts on the Daily Sun that says Tinubu will kill Nigerians with hunger, hardship, said by Atiku.
What Atiku said is truth. Nigerians are suffering. Hunger everywhere. The economy is crumbling every day by day. In fact, I noticed that even Buhari, during his tenure, the hardship is somehow manageable. Now it's beyond manageable. People are dying of hunger every day. As I walk on the street, people beg me money, beg me food. Some people, you see them behaving so mental demented, like they are mentally disorganized because of the hardship. You understand? So the president is not doing anything concerning this.
Now, towards this hunger now, since it's being said by Atiku, do you think it's more like a party thing? Because Atiku is under the PDP while the president's government is under the APC, and most APC persons are not complaining about the hardship. So does it look more like a party thing, like maybe because it's Atiku is from another party, it's like he's opposing current?
No. This is not a party something. It is general. Whether you're a PDP, you are APC, you are a Labour Party, you are in Nigeria.
And we are
So, and I remember one thing that our brother P2B said. He said, even if you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, or you're Igbo, you're Yoruba or Hausa, that there's no way you go in Nigeria and say you're from so place and they will say it's something cheaper. You understand? So both the APC, the PDP, LUP, and all of we're all under the. You understand? So we're suffering and experiencing the same thing.
Okay. Then one last question: do you see hope for Nigeria with the plans the president is making at the moment?
My brother, I'm not seeing any hope because since pure water climbed to 10 naira, 15 naira, 20 naira, and now it's 30 naira a sachet of pure water, it has not come down. That used to be 5 naira before. The rice we used to buy 7.5 as of then, today is 70 something, 80 something, and 100,000. So I don't see any hope. This country, in fact, I don't know what to say about it. We are tired.
Malfunctioning.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is where we come to the end of the show for today. Do well to subscribe, turn on the notification button, connect with us across all our social media platforms. And if you have anything to add to what has been said here, or you have a contrary opinion, please slide to our comment section below and drop your comments there. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV. Have a lovely weekend ahead.